Join host Charisma Eve on a journey of self-discovery, empowerment, and unapologetic authenticity. In each episode, Charisma dives deep into conversations, exploring what it truly means to embrace oneself fully and live life with genuine charisma. From personal antidotes to interviews, Unapologetically Me is a space where vulnerability meets strength, where listeners are encouraged to celebrate their uniqueness and step into their power without reservation. Tune in for inspiring stories, practical tips, and a dose of unfiltered wisdom as Charisma Eve guides you towards embracing your most authentic self. It's time to own your truth and live unapologetically. And now your host, Charisma Eve.
Hello, everyone. And welcome to Unapologetically Me. I am Charisma Eve. And we are so glad to have you with us today. We hope that this day has been blessed thus far. And we are just glad to have you with us today. And I am so excited about our guest today. Why? Because she is very, very special to me. She is my baby sister. I love to refer to her as my baby sister, but she is not a baby, but she is my youngest sister. Her name is Kisha Woodson. We call her Kisha, but she is going to share her message of diabetes with us. And I don't want to take up a lot of time talking today because she has a very important message to share with us today. She has been a diabetic since she was 15, and she just had her 47th birthday on June the 20th. And I want her to tell as much about her story about diabetes as she can in our 20 minutes. So welcome, Kisha, to Unapologetically Me. We're so glad to have you with us today on our show. And we want you to tell us about your journey with diabetes. It has been a long and treacherous one. And I
Yes.
want you to share with our audience as much as you can get in these 20 minutes. What it's been like. What has this journey been like for you throughout this 47 years? Just tell us about it.
Well, sis, it's been a journey. Not a very good journey, not a very easy journey, but nothing in this life is. Especially finding out that I have diabetes at the age of 15, not really understanding it fully at that age. I was just told I was a diabetic. I had to watch what I eat. And at 15, you don't think about those things. So I ate what I wanted to eat and did what I wanted to do. And I did that for the majority of my life. Still having diabetes. Like my sister stated, I was diagnosed with it at the age of 15. At 18, I was put on insulin 4 times a day, 4 shots 4 times a day, checking my blood sugar 3 times a day. Um, Stayed active, but diabetes just took a toll, started to take a toll on my body. Um, and I went through a lot of sicknesses with my kidneys, kidney infections. Diabetes, when you have diabetes, it starts to attack your organs after you've had it for 10 years. It attacks your eyes, it attacks your kidneys. It attacks a lot of things after you've had it for 10 years or more. I It started maybe attacking my kidneys, I believe, and blood pressure. It started attacking my kidneys when, and I didn't even realize it until now, seeing doctors when I was in my early 20s. And as of right now, I have chronic kidney disease due to high blood sugar levels, high blood pressure. I'm actually at stage 4, which has put me on the kidney transplant list. Um, all of these things were due to diabetes. I also have to every 8 weeks get injections in my eyes. I have to get shots in my eyes, in both of them, to keep me from going blind. And I've been getting those now for about 3.5 years. Um, 4 years ago, due to diabetes, people that have diabetes, they don't, when they get sores and things of that nature, they don't heal well. And I had developed a sore on my toe, and in turn, I had to have all of my toes amputated. And because diabetics don't heal well, um, the infection was still in my foot and it wasn't healing. So a month later, they had to amputate a fourth of my leg. And all of these things were due to diabetes. So I just want to, and anybody that I come in contact with, I try to express to them and stress to them the importance of eating right and taking your medicines and doing what the doctor tells you to do, because over a period of time, if you don't, it will affect you. It will affect your organs, no matter who you are. If you don't take care of yourself, you could go blind. You can lose your kidneys. You could leave here behind that. So it's very important that you take care of yourself and you eat right. You exercise, you do the things that the doctors tell you to do, because that is important. Juvenile diabetes is the worst, and that is what I have. There is no cure for it, but you can take care of yourself and make it better. And it all starts with how you eat. And for so long, it didn't matter to me how I ate. I ate whatever I wanted to. I did drugs. I did a lot of things that were hindering me instead of helping me. And it put me in the position where I am today. Um, so I can't stress enough taking care of yourself and eating right, and exercising, because those things are very important. It's not so much the sweets, it's the starches, it's all of those things that you have to look out for. And it starts in the mind first. You have to mentally change your mind and say, if I want to live, these are the things that I have to do. And these are the things that I tell myself now, and I regret not doing it back then, but everything happens for a reason. And so I'm still here and I've done better, but I still have to go through what I'm going through. And it's okay. My goal is to help somebody else not have to go through what I'm going through. So that's why I was, so eager and doing this podcast with my sister, because I want to get it out there. Take care of yourself, because it's real. Diabetes will take you out of here. It will kill you if you don't do what you need to do.
And I really appreciate it, Kisha, because in the late 70s, when you were born, in the early 80s, people used to say you had sugar, and ignorance is bliss. We
Right.
literally believe that when people said you had sugar, they were talking about white sugar,
White
like what
sugar.
we
No,
ate, you
no.
know, and we didn't know what
Right.
they were talking about. So, and I really appreciate you coming on the podcast to help educate our
Right.
youth as well as everybody else, because just as with other things, and I'm so glad I have other people that want to come on the podcast and want to help educate people about things like mental illness and things of that
Right.
nature,
Right.
because we have things that we have that are more informative, that we're more
Right.
informed about, that we were less informed about years ago,
Right.
such as diabetes, because
Mm-hmm.
our mother was a severe diabetic.
She
And
was.
I'm sure that if mama had have known the things
Right.
that you know now,
Right.
she
Right.
would have done better.
Right.
And you hit on several things that I want to ask you about. Like, with you with you eating, with the way you're eating, first of
Mm-hmm.
all, we love to eat. Our
We
mother
love
could
to
cook.
eat. Right.
Our mother was a fantastic cook. But
Absolutely.
had we, and then, okay, point number one, we thought that white sugar was what it was that we
Cause
needed.
diabetes.
Right.
Cause
But it,
diabetes.
it it's not the main thing.
It's
It's
not.
glucose.
It's
It's
glucose.
it's glucose.
It's
It's like
starches.
it's starches. It's
Yes.
rice. It's
Rice.
flour. It's
Right.
things of those nature.
Right.
So that in and of itself what has helped me through mama, through you
Mm-hmm.
learning.
Right.
And so hit on that a little bit. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why I say I want to help because a lot of people think it's just, oh, I got to stop eating sweets. Oh, I got to stop eating sweets. No, it's more than I got to stop eating sweets. I have to stop eating the starches. And then I also have to exercise because that's a
Mm-hmm.
big part of it as well. It's not so much the candy, it's a lot of other different things. Like I said, like the starches and the not exercising, and the drinking of the soda, and the sweet Kool-Aid. Black folks love Kool-Aid, and it's filled
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of sugar, and those things like that we have to get away from, and I just want to help anybody that I can because I don't want to see anybody go through what I'm having to go through. And you
Mm-hmm.
don't people don't have to go through it if they just listen
Mm-hmm.
and take it serious because it is serious. It's
It's a
very
choice.
serious. It's a choice.
It
It's a
is a
choice.
choice.
It actually is do you want to live or do you want to die? There's no in
Mm-hmm.
between. There's
Mm-hmm.
no in between. If you want to live, you're going to do what you're supposed to do. And diabetes is like that. If you don't want to live, you eat whatever you want to eat, don't exercise, and you will die.
Mm-hmm.
You
To
will,
your
it's that
point,
simple.
and to your point, with that point, I want to go to your next point with drugs. Okay. So
Hmm.
had you, been as educated now, would you have made, well, no, that's kind of a dumb question to ask. You wouldn't have made the choices that you made
Mm-mm,
with.
no. And back then I didn't think about, the fact that I had diabetes, and I would have never smoked crack. I would have never sniffed cocaine, and doing those things and not taking my insulin, because then I was still supposed to be taking 4 shots a day. I wasn't thinking about that. I went into the hospital because I had a kidney infection. That happened to me twice,
Uh,
so it's imperative that you do what you're supposed to do when you have diabetes. Diabetes in the Black community, it's so many of us that have this disease, and we're not knowledgeable about it, and we don't take care of ourselves. We take it lightly, and it shouldn't be taken lightly. It
well,
shouldn't be.
you really didn't know how serious it was. And then by the time you learned the sincerity of it, you
It
were
was too late.
already in
It
you
was
were
too
already
late.
into your disease. You were
Yeah, it
already
was too late.
right. And so that's the thing. And by you coming on to the podcast and sharing about your disease of addiction and being full blown, into your full blown disease of addiction, you can help somebody to
Mm-hmm.
stop. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Don't go there. Don't get that far. into
Mm-hmm.
that. If you know that you are a diabetic, if you know that
That's
you
right.
are a, you know, um, what is it, a juvenile diabetic, don't start.
Mm-hmm.
You
Don't
know what I
start
mean? Don't
because
start.
it's gonna tear your organs up. It's going to tear your
Exactly.
organs up. You know, it's going to
Exactly.
affect every organ in your body. And it has with my body, you know. So
Hmm.
that's why I really, I'm thankful that you have this podcast and
Hmm.
you can help somebody.
Thank
You
you.
can help somebody because we need to get it out there. We
Hmm.
have to get it out there because that's our job. That's my
Hmm.
job to tell people, you know, if you don't do right, this is what's going to happen. This is what could happen to you. And you don't want to go through that. You know, you don't want to go through that. Use me as an example, you know, and I feel like that's what God's doing. I feel like that's what he's doing.
Well, sis, I just want to say thank you so much. There's gonna be a time when I'm not just gonna be doing audio, but if the Lord's will, I plan to do both audio and
Oh,
video.
yeah, that's
And
coming.
I plan to. I would like to have you come back and share some more. And this has been a blessing to me, as well as it's going to be a blessing to someone else. And I just want to thank you for sharing your journey thus far. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm
Thank
proud
you.
of your journey thus far with diabetes, how far you've made it. I'm so proud of you being clean and sober, as
Yes.
far as an addict and being clean and sober. And I thank God for that, for your sobriety and for keeping you thus far. And I know He will continue to do that. And
Absolutely.
I'm grateful that you decided to be a part of my podcast and share. And just thank you so
Anything
much.
to anything to support my big sister. Anything to support you.
Well, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate it. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is my sister, Delma Woodson, and she is a survivor of um, so many things. She is a woman of God. She is a survivor of juvenile diabetes. She is a survivor of um, she is a survivor of, like I said, so many things. I want to cry, but I know I can't. And my sisters know I'm a crybaby, but I am just so proud of her. And I just want to thank you all for joining us today on Unapologetically Me. I hope that you have enjoyed this show, and I hope that it has blessed someone. I know it's blessed someone. You all enjoy the rest of your day. Be blessed. Love someone. Love someone, hug someone, and make this day a good day. Okay? God bless you, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for joining Unapologetically Me, Charisma Eve. Please like, share, and subscribe, and join us every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time for another exciting episode wherever you listen to your podcast.